In the heart of Alaoma village, tucked within the embrace of lush, green hills, life was simple and steeped in tradition. The people of Alaoma were deeply connected to their roots, their lives guided by the wisdom of their ancestors. Among their many customs was one that every villager knew by heart: never leave clothes on the line after sunset. This rule was not merely a suggestion, it was sacred. Legends spoke of a time when humans and spirits lived closer together, and the boundary between their worlds was fragile. The elders would often tell tales to remind the young ones, but like all stories, they sometimes faded into mere words until they were proven true. Among the villagers was a young woman named Chioma, known for her striking beauty and tireless energy. Chioma had an infectious laugh and a voice that seemed to weave joy into the air. She was a skilled washerwoman, often taking on the task of cleaning clothes for families during market days. Her diligence made her beloved by all, but it also meant her days were always full. One bustling market day, Chioma was particularly busy. The sun had been generous, and her drying lines were full of colorful wrappers, shirts, and scarves fluttering in the warm breeze. She hummed as she worked, her hands moving with practiced ease. Just as she was finishing, her friend Adaora burst into the compound. "Chioma, come quickly. The elders have called an emergency meeting." Adaora's face was etched with urgency. Chioma frowned, glancing at the half-dry clothes on the line. "What could it be now?" she muttered, but she knew better than to ignore such a summons. "I'll finish this later," she decided, hurriedly wiping her hands and following Adaora. The meeting was long and filled with heated discussions. By the time it ended, the stars glittered above Alaoma, and the air was cool with the promise of night. Exhausted, Chioma returned home, her thoughts too scattered to remember the clothes left hanging outside. She fell into a deep sleep, unaware of the silent watchers emerging from the forest. In the quiet hours, the Ajogwu, spirits of the twilight, awoke. These beings, neither fully benevolent nor malicious, delighted in mischief. They were said to be guardians of the unseen balance, ensuring that humans respected the natural order. The Ajogwu glided silently through the village, their translucent forms shimmering under the moonlight. When they reached Chioma's compound, their glowing eyes fixed on the clothes fluttering in the night breeze. To the spirits, clothes were not mere garments. They were vessels of the wearer's essence, infused with memories, emotions, and vitality. With whispered laughter, they descended on the clothes. Wrappers turned brittle, shirts stretched unnaturally, and scarves twisted into bizarre shapes. The Ajogwu reveled in their work, leaving behind a trail of chaos before retreating to the shadows. The next morning, Chioma awoke with a start. As she stepped outside to retrieve the clothes, her heart sank. The garments looked strange, lifeless and wrong. A vibrant green wrapper had turned a sickly gray, while a simple shirt now bore mysterious patterns resembling claw marks. News of Chioma's plight spread like wildfire. Villagers gathered at her compound, murmuring prayers and shaking their heads. Among them was Nadi, the village's oldest elder, whose voice carried the weight of countless seasons. "This is the work of the Ajogwu," Nadi declared gravely. "They are angered by our carelessness. Clothes left under the moonlight become their playthings, and their mischief can taint the wearer's soul." As if to prove his words, strange events began to unfold. A farmer wearing one of the tainted wrappers became disoriented in his own field, unable to recognize familiar paths. A baby wrapped in an altered shawl cried endlessly, its voice filled with an otherworldly wail. Even Chioma herself felt the effects. Her laughter grew faint, her energy sapped. Desperate, Chioma turned to Mama Agboma, the village's renowned diviner. Known for her sharp intuition and connection to the spiritual realm, Mama Agboma listened intently to Chioma's story. "You have angered the Ajogwu," Mama Agboma said after casting her cowrie shells. "They do not take lightly to being ignored. To restore balance, you must make an offering and seek their forgiveness." Following the diviner's guidance, Chioma prepared an elaborate offering. She gathered yams, fresh palm wine, kola nuts, and a beautifully woven basket of flowers. Under Mama Agboma's watchful eye, she placed the items at the edge of the forest, kneeling in humility. "I have wronged you," she whispered. "Please forgive me and restore peace to our village." The forest seemed to hum with quiet approval. The air grew lighter, and a soft breeze carried Kioma's words into the depths of the trees. Slowly, Alioma returned to normal. The garments, though altered, no longer carried the heavy curse. Kioma's laughter returned, and the villagers resumed their lives, though now with a newfound respect for the unseen. The rule became more than a custom, it was a warning, passed from one generation to the next. On moonlit nights, mothers would gather their children and tell them, "Never leave your clothes outside after sunset, the Ajogwu are watching." Kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like the video, it's the least you can support me with. Thank you. And so, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the people of Alayoma would hurry to bring in their laundry, ensuring no fabric was left to tempt the spirits of the night. Their vigilance was not born of fear, but of understanding, a respect for the delicate balance between their world and the one just beyond sight.